Our next contestant, Janet Livingstone, in rougher waters.
Thank you. Crocodiles don't just devour you in one large, thrashing attack. They grab you and they pull you down into the water and they hold you there until you slowly drown. Sort of like a big corporate culture, that like gets a hold of you and squeezes all that motivation out of you until you slowly buy in. I lived in Africa with my husband and 7-month-old baby, my first child. We decided to go river rafting on the Zambezi River under Victoria Falls. We got there and the rafting site was like this incredible scene from Mission Impossible. There were helicopters above, there were people bungee jumping, there were guys with big rafts going down to the water. I swear to God, I saw Tom Cruise walk by in his camouflage. I asked the guide, "Are there crocodiles in the water?" He hesitated. He said, "No, only in the calm water, not in the rapids where you're going to be." I was not convinced. Has anyone ever died on one of these trips? He was silent. That was my answer. We got instructions in case the raft flipped and we went into the water. A, give the thumbs up if you're okay. B, swim to the side so that a kayaker can come and help you. There were 8 of us in the raft, 3 men on either side, holding a paddle. In the back, the guide with 2 oars, me in the middle on all 4s with no paddle and no dignity, the only woman. We put in. The first 4 sets of rapids were unbelievably exciting, like, woo! I was screaming with joy. On the 5th rapid, we flipped completely. I went down. I came back up. I hit my head on the bottom of the raft. I went down again. By the time I came up for air, I saw the raft down the water, laser focused on survival. I remembered the instructions. Give the thumbs up, check, swim to the side. Swim? Are you kidding? I'm wearing an enormous orange neon flotation vest made for a man. I'm 5'4" and wearing shoes. Swim does not explain what I did. I flailed like an insane chihuahua trying to get to the side of the river. The whole time I'm thinking, please God, don't let the crocodiles get me. Don't let them pull me down into the water. I'm a first-time mom. I won't die here. I get to the side. I have to tread water. There's nowhere to get out. Treading. 1 minute, 2 minutes. The kayaker finally pulls up. I look up at him, and I swoon. He's gorgeous. He looks down at me, and he says something, blah, blah, blah. I don't understand him. What? The second time, blah, blah, blah. He says something. I still don't understand him. I'm panicking by now. Third time, he looks down at me, and he says, put your legs around the boat. Oh, I realize he wants me to go to the front of the kayak and wrap my legs and my arms around the boat so that he can pull me to the next raft that's coming down the river. He wants me to make love to the kayak. At this moment, I was just like, oh my God. My ego just flew away. It went down the river the way of the other rafts. And I said, okay, faced with a decision between death and kayak sex, I choose the kayak. I wrapped myself around. He paddled. He pulled me toward the middle of the river, and the next raft, full of strangers, had the pleasure of hauling me in like a waterlogged whale. I was hysterically laughing by this time, clinically psychotic. They take me down to the next place where we can land. I get out. I'm reunited with my husband in our raft. But we have to get back in and do 10 more sets of rapids. And this time, I get a paddle. I paddle my ass off. I'm so full of adrenaline. I just paddle like crazy. We made it. I survived. So if you want to be resilient in life, ask questions and be present. And if you find yourself in a crisis, you can and maybe should let your, ego go. because sometimes kayak sex is not that bad. And don't let the corporate life get you down. And remember, when you're up the river without a paddle, don't let the crocodiles get you.
I feel we should have a crocodile puppet going, rah, rah, rah. It's like,
I think we should have a kayak up here.
this is not an NC-17 audience here. Okay, that's
Well, I'm going to start with the kayak, because that's the thing I'm going to take away from this whole, because I never thought of a kayak being able to rescue anybody. And you now made it so that I can envision how a kayak can do that. And that's, you gave me just enough where I could imagine that. But you didn't tell me it's like it was a red kayak and who was in it. That was incredible imagery. And funny as all get out. I'm not going to go any farther on that. But that was the whole thing with you had a story, and it was entertaining. It was funny. It was, I want to see what you're going to do next. And you were all over the stage. I was, okay, where's the crocodile? Oh, let's throw a hippopotamus in there. What the heck? Let's go crazy. And this story has so many elements. I could take the whole 3 minutes, but I won't, because then I might never be invited back. So I guess we're going to go this way.
sure. There's a lot of dialogues in there, and rather than telling us, I would love to see more of this story be something that you act out for us in real time. It's like, so did anybody die? Okay. I mean, like let's see the reaction or see their reaction. It's like it's like no one died. Wait, whoa. I mean, like let us see some of that. And the crocodiles. Again, at a certain point, I didn't believe there were going to be any crocodiles. I want to believe that it could be a crocodile waiting for you to get away from that freaking kayak so it can kill you. It's like to be the mixture of humor and danger. We want to be a little more equal there. So a little more tension in this thing here. And so again, less. Again, you had a high story ratio in here, but I think you can even push it even higher. And so again, rather than narrating what happened, presenting, living what happened, and dialing up the drama factor would be fantastic.
Yes, Janet, fantastic story. Such a fun story. At the very beginning, you talk about how a crocodile pulls you down and then holds you under the water, just like corporate culture something. I missed I didn't write down what you actually said, but I think you could tweak that phrase a little bit better, and how corporate culture sucks you down and holds you there until you give in, until you buy their version, until you something that's more directly tied to corporate culture. I'm just thinking about the professional connection for this story. You're so funny, and your delivery was the most natural on stage. I felt like I was with you and you were telling me a story, like we were friends and you were just sharing this crazy story with me, which is exactly how we need to be making our audiences feel, and less like I tend to get into like speaker mode. I am a speaker. So very, very natural. I loved that so much. Maybe don't use the phrase clinically psychotic. Maybe find a different way to say that. That would be my preference. Your vocal variety, amazing. And then I think you could milk the line the first time you talk about kayak sex. I think you could milk that even a little bit more by saying, so he wanted me to wrap my arms and legs around the end of the kayak. He wants me to have sex with a kayak? Like, just because that's the line everybody's going to walk away with, right? So milk it, get everything you can out of it. And then there's some improvement room to improve the close of your story and like really hammer the point for us. But I know you're going to get there. Congratulations.